side, but you weren't with us. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, but how did you get up? I done got rich and went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. How did the lady go miss? How she emerged, she mixed. Met her at one of the functions, we caught her the rhythm. She caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain. Can I kick it? Just to flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked. Can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Need a light years to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here.
Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Fielded in the end zone, and this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Now the first carry for Cam Akers. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of time.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 51 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, it's Akers. And some space here. The 20. Touchdown! Cam Akers, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 1. Being chased out left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up there the 32. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
3 yards the gain there, second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run here with Akers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when, the back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know,
and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, his second touchdown on the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
The extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly not what they want.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot. Great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Mixon with a first down carry. And he gets Gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance class.
And the ball is knocked out. And the Rams have got it going the other way. And they are going to score on the final return. Touchdown, LA. Touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look in the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better second football and start getting guys on the ground.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First and goal at the 7.
He'll look to throw here. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams add on to their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21.
The Rams defense heading back onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team?
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here, this happens. Intercept.